Okay. Dimmi. Che ti ho preso? Okay. Perfect, thank you. Okay, I think that we are more or less on time. Hello everyone, I'm Vincenzo Barbieri from Planetech Italia. This is a company that is based 300 meters from here. And we are very focused on geospatial information activities. And in the last 10 years, we are trying to use drones for our activities that are mainly based on space data, satellite data. I am an agronomist, and for this reason, I was chosen from the colleagues from the DTR to manage this panel. And I would like to invite on the desk Alessandro Vivaldi, okay, from University of Bari. Laura Esposito from Telespazio, okay. And Paolo Marras from Aeromatica 3D. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, but Di Noia from UNAPROL and Di Matteo from Tor Maresca are not joining the panel. They apologize for not being here, but you know. And I think that we could start. This morning I've seen that agriculture is only 5% of the entire market in the use of drones. And probably we have to ask why. And today we'll try to provide some answers about this, I hope. And okay, first of all, I would like to thanks all the panelists, and I will start with Alessandro. Please, could you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Vincenzo. First of all, I want to thank the organizer for inviting me. It's a great honor. So I'm associate professor at University of Bari. I work in the Department of Soil, Plant, and Food Sciences. I'm specialized in precision farming, precision agriculture, and in particular in irrigation of the fruit tree crops. In particular, we use innovative tools such as proximal and remote sensing to save water. And this topic is very important in our region. And I collaborate with Vincenzo and the other partners in the framework of Tebaca project that maybe later we will give you some information. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alessandro. And please, Laura, could you introduce yourself and your organization?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Vincenzo, and thanks to DTR for the organization of this traditional event, I would say now. Well, I'm Laura Esposito, and I'm working in Telespazio as head of drone market and program in the line of business of geoinformation. I'm not sure everybody knows Telespazio, which is a joint venture between Thales and Leonardo, with Leonardo being the majority shareholder with about 70% of the share. And Telespazio is a company with more than 60 years of experience now in three main space business segments that are the space and satellite operations, the communication and navigation services, and of course the geoinformation. And within drone, we really leverage on the experience in these three core competencies in order to offer end-to-end services in different vertical applications, such as delivery of medical goods, and of course agriculture is one of the other ones, and in general inspection and mapping services. And in the years, we have developed proprietary assets that support us in the provisioning of these end-to-end services. These assets are, first of all, T-Drones. That is a software platform that enables the performance of services on large scale. So the platform itself enables to perform operations in a standard and industrialized way through the coverage of all the phases of a service. So the planning, and we have a standard internal authorization workflow to be followed. Then we have the phase of mission management and data acquisition and processing. And also in this case, a kind of process and procedure can be implemented within the process in order to acquire data that are comparable among them in case acquisitions are done in different times or at the same time, but on different geographical areas, ensuring that the outcome is really repetitive and the overall process can be industrialized. And of course, the platforms cover also the final phase of the service, that is the data delivery to customer through reports or user application on mobile, whatever I would say. The platform itself offers functionalities such as the multi-drone management, C2, or the real-time monitoring through the telemetry receival, and really many other optimization algorithms for the optimization of very large services. The other fundamental asset that has been developed through the years is a proprietary COM-box that is a hardware device that can be installed on board or on board of the drone or on a ground control station or within hangars or in general IoT applications. And this component enables to have a farther communication channel that is secure and resilient and can work through LTE, 5G, and also satellite. We count on Iridium constellation. And the combination of T-drones and the proprietary COM-box enables the performance of BVLOS operations, which is a key element, according to us, for a successful business case. And finally, the last two assets are, of course, the capability to develop AI and machine learning algorithms in order to process effectively large volume of data acquired by the operations. And we count on a very large experience in geoinformation services using satellite data that, by the way, can be integrated within the system to have a kind of multi-level analysis. So you can imagine, satellite to cover larger areas and then drone to cover, let's say, limited but with high resolution geographical areas. And the last, I promise, asset is a safety management system certified that ensure to our customer that all operations are performed according to regulations and with proper continuous airworthiness and trained people. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Laura. Okay. And Paolo, please, could you introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, thanks for the introduction, and many thanks for the invitation for being here today. It's really an honor for me. My name is Paolo Marras. I'm the general manager of Aermatica 3D. Aermatica 3D is an Italian company providing drone solutions. So applicative solutions that have in the top, in the center, a drone. In the case that in which these solutions are already present on the market, we provide to the market commercial solutions, just providing support, technical assistance, and maintenance. But if the applicative needs are not satisfied by an industrial drone on the market, we are able, with our internal research and development department, to design, conceive, and realize an applicative solution. Let me make some example. We are able to integrate advanced sensors on top of drone to make possible to have a very advanced survey by using sensors that you cannot find on the market on top of drones, such as radiation sensor, hyperspectral sensors, and all sensors that can be used by research centers to make research, for example. Research centers are one of our customers. Other customers are from the governmental world, where drones are, for example, example, used by advanced sensor to find the lost people. In that case, we are able to find the best solution in the integration of the sensor and the drone. In our case, the integration is always providing an integrated remote system in which the drone pilot has the awareness of not only of the drone flight, but also of the payload data acquisition in flight. We say that we designed the applicative dress of a drone. The applicative dress of the drone is made by software. With our software, it's possible to have automatic flights dedicated to a particular application in an optimized way. But we design also mechanical and hardware stuff to install on top of drones some sensors and also kits to act. We operate in several different markets, security, where a drone can be an automatic flying camera in a total security system, but also not only for security reasons, but also for monitoring reasons. I have already said regarding drones for research, but also drones for agriculture, and that's why I'm here, and let me say I do not agree that drones for agriculture are occupying a small market share, because a drone can be really useful tool for agriculture. I can say something later on.
Thank you, Paolo. It's very interesting, this panel, because we have a different point of view. Professor Vivaldi, that is a point of view of research, the industry, but with a different point of view, because the producer of tools, technology, and a company that provides services. Then we have a very mixed competence on this table. Alessandro, you are an expert in precision farming, and you use in your activity satellite data, data acquired by plane, by drones, on field. What is your opinion about the use of drones in the precision farming activities, and what is your experience in this field?
Thank you, Vincenzo, for your question. So we use drones for many reasons. We use drones, for example, for soil monitoring. We use drones for crops monitoring. When I say crops, I say, for example, irrigation monitoring, or, for example, nutrition monitoring of plants. But so the question is that, in my opinion, drones have positive and negative aspects. The positive aspects are related with the accuracy. So we can obtain high quality images with a high level of accuracy. And for us, it's very important, for example, to I can say to split soil and crops. That something that is not possible with satellites, for example. So in this case, we can improve the quality of algorithms. In fact, we are working on algorithms that are able to, for example, identify plant water status, in the case, for example, of olive trees or vineyards and so on. The negative aspect, in my opinion, is that the drones don't fly too long, so the possibility to cover very big area sometimes is not possible. Also because farmers need real-time information, okay? Because with the drones, we need to go, in the lab. We have to process the images and then produce information. What we do is also to connect together information between drones, airborne, but also satellites. So the idea is to see how the information goes through the different platforms, and then the idea is to build, is to use all the positive aspects of each platform. So this is the main use that we do in research, more or less.
Then Then data fusion is a key to provide good services in this case.
Absolutely, yes. It's very important because we can improve the quality of the power of our algorithm by using all these platforms together. And we are producing in Tobacco project, maybe later we will talk a little bit about this, and these results are very interesting.
Okay, thank you. Laura, you are a manager of a multinational company that provides services in a different country and also in agriculture market. Could you share with us your experience in this and which type of difference do you have seen in a different country? There is from Italy to other European country or abroad?
Thanks. Yeah. Telespazio has other legal entities controlled in more or less 15 countries in Europe and in South America. And I would say that we have already operational services abroad, while in Italy we are still on experimental activities. And this can be also linked to the fact that while abroad we have larger cooperative and larger farmers, here in Italy the market is really fragmented, so it's not easy to engage an appropriate number of customers to implement an operative service. But a very interesting example of operative case, and I would say a successful case, is operative in France since 3 years now. It's a project called GeoAdventis, and the aim of the services of the service that is offered is to identify and localize the presence of a weed that is called datura. In Italian is stramonium. And this kind of weed is poisonous for the men, and some very large food company has had scandals because a certain percentage of datura was found within their products. So they had, let's say, image and reputation loss. They had to stop the production line to clean it properly, and it was an economic loss. And of course, they had to throw away a quite large part of production. That was another economic loss. So since when these services that it's performed 100% with drones, so no satellite or other technologies, has been offered by Telespazio. And just to give you some numbers, in 2022, we had almost 20,000 hectares of fields flown for, and we adopted and we leverage on a federation of local drone operators using 3,000 drone operators, and the farmers involved of the cooperatives that are our customer were almost 1,500. So this is an example of large-scale services, and I could go on explaining better the service, but I don't want to steal time, I don't know.
Oh,
okay, so the service is based on 3 different phases. The first one is the planning, and in this case, Telespazio and the different cooperatives agree on a plan that is based both on the harvesting and pre-harvesting time of the different crops, and of course on the availability of all our federated drone operators and pilots, and of course the weather forecast. So let's say it's a preliminary planning. After the planning, the execution phase is performed, so the data are acquired, and they are, let me say, simple optical images, which are processed with automatic processing chain that have been trained to identify the presence of the datura over different crops. After the automatic processing, of course, there are some areas with a certain percentage of doubt, so we have the intervention of human experts that double-check the doubt areas. And finally, the third phase is the delivery of the outcome to the farmers. The outcome is presented on a mobile app, the T-Drones farming app, on which the precise location of datura is shown to the farmers, and they can go there and treat the datura or pull it out from the soil. And everything, I mean, after the flight, everything is managed within a few days, up to 3-4 days.
Okay, thank you, Lara. It's a very
Thanks.
interesting application, a real application of drones in agriculture. And it's interesting the figure that we have provided us about the dimension of the area, because during the pandemic, I was in contact, in touch with farmers from Brazil. He called me, okay, we are very interested in using satellite data for our activities, because we have 11 planes and dozens of drones, but they are not enough for us. And I asked, okay, please, but how large is your land? Okay, more or less 5,000 square kilometers is more or less the province of Bari. This is just one company. Okay, it's clear that you need the data fusion using satellite data, airplane. Then probably we have a structure of our agriculture that is quite different from France or Brazil and USA or Australia. And then I would like to ask to Paolo, I know that you produce tools, technology to install on drones, and agriculture is one of the main important markets for your company. And you don't agree about the number that we have seen before. And what is your experience in this, and your point of view in using drones in Italy and abroad?
Have I an hour to answer? Or?
I don't know.
I try to be really synthetic. Our customers are farmers and service provider providing services to farmers, together with their agronomists. I'm an engineer, not an agronomist, so I don't speak about agriculture, but I hear a lot about agriculture. And drone can be really an innovative tool in agriculture, because it can be the tool to arrive to the agriculture 4.0. So-called 4.0. Why? Because traditional agriculture is based on time. Tractors go in the field and distribute products every week, every 2 weeks. So based on time, with a lot of resources, liters and liters of water and products. A drone system can be a tool useful to analyze the situation and act according to the real situation in that moment. And so to distribute the right amount of product only where it is needed and when it is needed, and only in the amount it is needed. So it is a precision farming tool, the ideal precision farming tool, both for survey by using visible images or also multispectral images, but especially to spread products. And the use of drone to distribute very light products is an enabling tool to spread biological control. Biological control is a technique made by the distribution of living insect to fight against bad insect as parasite on different crops. The interesting fact is that insects are very light and can be distributed in an automatic way, in a very effective and efficient way by a drone. So by using a drone in biological control on corn, you can distribute in small capsules, including 1,000 eggs of a good insect, able to parasitize the eggs of the bad insect. You can cover more than 100 hectares per day. That means that the application works for the farmer that has a green approach to his crop, works for the service provider that by making a small investment is able to cover a lot of surface and then provide a to cover a big area with this service. So obviously, drones are complementary to satellites. Less area, but bigger resolution and bigger time frequency when it is needed. And obviously, they cannot be compared with the traditional tractors that can spread 1,000 liters of product. But especially for biological control, even a 30 liters drone or some kilos payload drone can be really effective and useful to have a productivity and to help farmers to have their production increasing. Just to give an example, by using a small drone, it is possible to spread pollen on some crops like walnut, pistache, and other crops, olive trees, helping production and increasing production and granting production exactly in a natural way. You can collect pollen when it is available and distribute very precisely by drone when flowers are acceptable. So in a very green way, you can have a very useful task for farmers.
Okay, thank you, Paolo. Your speech introduced me to the last round, and we have to finish, about the necessity to increase the use of the drones in agriculture. Probably it needs that we have to change the process, the workflow, the activities that the farmer has in their own activities. If we want to exploit the value of the drones in agriculture, which type of activities we need to do in order to obtain these results? Alessandro.
Is a very nice question. So I think the application of drones in agriculture, I think, is site-specific. So each area needs specific tools. So I can imagine, for example, in Puglia, we don't use to spread pollen for olives because we don't need this. But in some area, for example, in north part of Italy, in other area, they need this because they have some geographical problem and so on. I don't want to go inside this topic. But so, for example, in our region, one of the most important thing that we have to face is water. Okay, water scarcity is one of the most limited input for agriculture. If you don't have water, we cannot do agriculture in this region. So for that reason, the answer cannot be generalized, but is site-specific. I can talk about our region. So in our region, I think that we need easy tools, very cheap, that can be used by all the producers, that can help growers to apply water in the right time, at the right time, and also with the right amount of water. So to do this is very complex, but we are trying to do something by using different platforms, but also integrating this information with the software that are based on monitoring on the field. I'm talking about, for example, sensoring for monitoring soil, or sensors that are on plants. I'm dendrometric sensor and so on. There are different things. So the idea is to integrate all this information and then to give to the growers some easy tools to manage irrigation. Another aspect that can be monitored is for sure nutrition. So for this we are working on building some prescription maps, and then also in this case we can build some specific algorithms for specific crops. So what is my opinion is that sometimes algorithms are used for example, has been developed algorithm in olives, so we can use this algorithm for all varieties. So okay, we can start from this, but we can improve the quality of the algorithm by testing and collecting information on the field in specific area, and then to improve the quality of algorithms for specific crops and varieties. So this is my idea.
Okay, thank you. Then we need a lot of knowledge to develop in order to do this. Okay, Laura, and in your opinion, which type of activities, changes we needed to do in order to increase the use of our drones in agriculture?
Well, technically it's a tough question, but from our experience, we have seen that the most successful use cases are the ones in which drones can provide support for activities that are hardly performed by human alone, or in the detection, again, of weed or illness, let me say, of plants that are over large areas and that need a continuous monitoring over time, that, again, it's not easy to be done with a human being only. And, of course, I totally agreed with what Silvano was saying before, that especially in Italy, where the market is really fragmented, a strong presence or a strong support from the institution is crucial in order really to enable a larger market, an industrialized market, because otherwise, if we think about the small farmer or the small cooperative, usually they do not, let's say, they can't afford to introduce innovation and disruptive services for topics like sustainability, or again, in order to optimize their operation to perform this kind of operations that are performed maybe not at 100% of the quality, but in a cheaper way.
Okay, thank you, Laura.
Thanks.
And Paolo, the same question for you. What do you think about the innovation that we have to do?
I think that Italy is the right place where to introduce innovation in agriculture, because we have very high value crops in very complex scenarios in which sometimes the drone could be the only one solution to make a task. For example, if you have vineyards in mountains or hills, in a steep slope scenario, and the drone can be the only one tool able to spread products on the hills. Obviously, we have to take into account that at the moment we have a strict regulation on the distribution of chemical products by drones. So there could be an enhancement in the regulation also, because there are plenty of experimentation that demonstrate that very probably a drone flying, distributing liquids is less invasive and with less drift than a normal and traditional tool. But we have a lot of products that can be distributed, fertilizer and other kind of biostimulants that are really helpful in combination with the tool for distribute, also regarding all the panorama of biological products. So I think that we need just to show to the farmer which could be the results by using drones, and by using drones especially for biological control. Just to give you some figures, while 3, 4, 5 years ago we spoke of hundreds of hectares managed by biological control treatment by drones. Now we are speaking of 1,000 hectares in Italy covered by drones making biological control tasks.
Okay. Thank you, Paolo. I think that it was a very interesting panel, because we have achieved a lot of information about drones and agriculture, and I think that we could close this panel. Thank you for all of you. Thank you.